Let's go live now to Alexandra Thein. She's a German MEP in the EU delegation to Ukraine. Hi there, thank you for being on RT. Nothing wrong with freedom of speech, of course, but when you're in a position of power, people look up to you. We've seen scores of MEPs coming to join the protesters in Kiev. Why aren't you letting Ukraine's elected leaders that have been elected democratically make the decisions here? Why are you weighing in?
I think it's not against the Ukraine leadership. I think they just show their solidarity with the protesters. And I think we want that the association agreement with the EU is signed, and therefore we assist them.
But are these same European politicians trying to establish direct communications with the Ukrainian government? Why are they just being with the protesters, not trying to talk to the government and have direct negotiations with them as well?
I'm sure that they also try to have a meeting with the government. This is normal. If an official delegation is going there, it's normal to have meetings also with the government. But I think this is a delegation of some MEPs. I think it's not a really official delegation.
It kind of looks, I mean,
so,
the president's been abroad the last couple of days, Yanukovych. It kind of looks like this, like stirring going on behind his back, doesn't it, almost? I mean, will direct negotiations be happening now between people from Europe, MEPs, the various selection of people we've seen, and their representatives trying to have direct negotiations now with Yanukovych or not?
I think we are always there to bridge to have a bridge between the EU, but also to take into account the vital interests of Russia. Perhaps this is at the moment a problem that the government don't see this enough, that we also take into account the vital interests of Russia. I think they are there just to show that we want, of course, the Ukraine to be on a long-term member of European Union. And I think the majority of the people of the Ukraine wants to be a member of European Union in a long term. So it's just now about the signing of this association agreement and nothing more. It's not nothing more about.
But there is a big ground strength of people in Ukraine that don't want to be part of it as well, especially in the east. What's your argument to them? As I know, I think 27% of Ukraine citizens don't want to be a member of European Union or don't want to have a closer relationship with European Union, but this is not the majority. I think there's still a lot of people, though, isn't it?
Perhaps even. Yes, it's a lot of people. Of course, it's a lot of people, but democracy means always the vote of the majority. So perhaps it would be the best thing at the moment to do a referendum. Who wants to have closer relationship with European Union and who wants to have closer relationship with Russia. But I think we should not now got into these big problems to decide Ukraine whether to be with EU or whether to be with Russia. I think, like it has been in the last years, you can have good relationship to both sides. It's going. It's just a question where you want to have your economically more closer ties with. This is the question.
You were talking about democracy just now, but the government's just survived a vote of no confidence, so surely democracy's spoken, hasn't it?
Yes, I think that so many people, you just told us 1 million are now on the street and even it's quite cold. I mean, they show what they want to. So they want, I think they want to have this association agreement signed. At the moment, this is just a question to sign this association agreement and in which direction to go. This is the question at the moment. And not more. It's not the final end or something.
To an onlooker here, I guess you'll say it's like comparing apples with pears, but if you look back to May this year, there were a lot of public protests in Turkey. So many people were out on the streets there, tear gas was used, but that time you didn't see any Euro-MPs, to my recollection, going out to Ankara to support the crowd. What's the difference between, for instance, what happened there and what's happening now in Ukraine?
No, it's not true. I can really tell you there have been many MEPs, many members of European Parliament who went to Ankara and who went there and who went to spoke also.
Well, they certainly seem more low-key.
This is normal. This is totally normal. This is totally normal. that we go there and that we speak also with the opposition. But of course, always we also try to speak with the government. We always speak with both sides. We speak with everybody. It's not only to speak with one side.
And what about the economic argument? You talked here that it's the long-term thought that you want Ukraine to join, but the short-term is it's going to cost an awful lot of money. Ukraine isn't really in a position to do that at the moment. So practicalities surely come into this at the moment, don't they?
Yes, but why it's cost a lot of money? I mean, this is the problem. Why I think
to modernise, to join the club.
Russia would. If Russia would take a normal position, just not to take this so serious, I mean, it would just be a normal relation, a closer relation between Ukraine and the EU, but it would not have this big economical impact that it will have now. I mean, this is just now too much excitement, and of course, I mean, violence is never an issue. We don't insist for violence, of course not. We don't want this. But people have the right to go to the street, and if they have the feeling that the politics of their country, that the government is going into the wrong direction, perhaps because there's too much pressure on the government, then they have the right to go on the street and to protest against this, of course without violence.
Thanks for being on the programme. Alexandra Thein, the German MEP in the EU delegation in Ukraine. Thank you.